Hardware. He was named the NBA's MVP for the second straight year. He's only the fifth active player to win the award in back-to-back seasons. And so, Winman, I thought you had a very interesting thought and an interesting recollection as this series gets underway, and SGA will be getting the MVP Game 1.
When I was 17 years old and falling in love with the NBA, I vividly remember David Robinson getting the MVP award in 1995 in front of Hakeem Olajuwon. And then Olajuwon making it a personal mission to prove everybody wrong. He scored 41 the night he saw David Stern give Robinson the award. He averaged 35 in that series, and they pulled the upset over the number 1 seed Spurs. Don't never underestimate the heart of a champion. You know that team.
Sure.
Well, Victor Wembanyama feels a certain way about his skills. And he is going to watch tonight as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets that MVP. A worthy MVP. I voted for Shai. But I wonder, really this whole Western Conference Finals to me is a check on whether it's Victor Wembanyama's league yet, because I believe it will be his league in the future, or if it still belongs to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And here we have Wembanyama with a Hakeem opportunity at his hands in Oklahoma City tonight. I am going to be tuned in very closely for the next 2 weeks, but especially in this moment.
That's an excellent recollection. And, you know, look, if you don't think that the French can be salty, you've never asked for directions on the Champs-Élysées. So, all right, what do you think about that? Wemby coming out there to prove this was my trophy, this is my year, and I'm going to show everybody, yeah, he may have the hardware, but I'm the best player.
He's got to prove it, and that's what you want to see from a player that gets a chance to be in the category for best player in the world against a guy who was MVP. And I think how he's going to prove it against Dagnall is going to be very interesting, right? I think you'll see Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, you'll see Jalen Williams. I also think one of the most intriguing matchups, we had P.J. Tucker on this show a couple days ago. Yeah. We were sitting there talking about who has the best body frame to guard a guy like Victor Wembanyama. We thought Julius Randle did during that series against Minnesota, but obviously I have a video later. That was not the case. Lou Dort has an interesting little twist. Because Lou Dort has that 6'4", 6 body frame. I know you make that face. But when guys who are bigger playing against guards who are 6'4", a strong, sturdy frame can get up underneath you and make things difficult, make you play their basket back to basket. I'm also talking about you want to go in for a rebound, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the basket's behind me. If I'm Lou Dort, try to go in for a rebound. That's all you see me do.
I'm going, okay.
Now the ball's over here. Now the goal's over here. I'm like this.
Right.
Every possession, right?
Right.
I'm making you earn it each and every possession. You may see some like psychological warfare.
Wait, okay, Greeny. You did good. You did great.
Wait, here
They got it. I just got to act the feet.
Look, hold on. Lou Dort is Mr. I'm sorry, is that your kidney? Like, he does not care about hurting you. I don't think he's going to go out and try to hurt Victor.
That was intense for
but
me, y'all.
he will not care about hurting Victor. We have a litany of body parts in the graveyard of Lou Dort.
Yeah, to that point, but we've seen, what's my guy, Alex Caruso, same concept, and the opportunities to guard Nikola Jokic at different points. And I'm not saying it's something that you can rely on the duration of a season, but in a series, if you do have a unique defender, you bring up a great point.
I'm just saying, it's all the things that we thought Minnesota was going to do that they didn't do. Just know that OKC is that squad. They do some of the nasty stuff now.
And they also have Chet Holmgren, who is one of the few guys, I mean, he's not as tall as Wembanyama. No one's as tall as Wembanyama, but they've got like the big athletic, guy who, and there's obviously the history. For those who don't know, there's a history between Wembanyama and Holmgren. They don't like each other at all, which I think is delightful going into this series, which is where I thought you were going to go before you just scared me almost. You give me Lou Dort eyes. Winman, how about this? How about the rest of the matchups in this Western Conference Final?
Yeah, I'm also interested in the other end of the floor where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's weapon is late game situations, getting to the elbow, creating contact. Wembanyama can do something that nobody else in the league can do against Shai. He can defend the rim and the mid-range at the same time. This is one of the reasons why the Thunder had trouble with the Spurs in the regular season.
Okay, the one thing I do want to bring up, though, is we got to, yes, Victor Wembanyama is 100% the centerpiece of the Spurs, but Stephon Castle is hooping.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of those guards for the Spurs are going to be a problem in terms of this OKC defense being tested as well.
Spurs went 4-1 against the Thunder in the regular season, the only team to win their season.
How does the Cavs defense, which frankly is the weakest defense remaining of the 4 teams, how do they handle the onslaught that has been the Knicks with the basketball over the last month? New York was already a top 5 offense in the league during the regular season. the style that they bring offensively with Karl Towns in the high post has supercharged them. And the Cavs just frankly, after the James Harden trade, not that it was all on him, just didn't defend as well down the stretch of the season. So look, the Cavs got to keep this game within range. The Cavs have a potent offense, but they cannot win, in my opinion, an all-out arms race with the Knicks.
I'm looking at that number, Jay Will, at the bottom of the screen. 80% chance to win the series. I'm not surprised the Knicks are favored. They have looked so good in these playoffs, and they have a huge advantage in rest. 80% is a big number. Do you see this as going in as a decided Knicks advantage in this series?
Like I said, I think I have the Knicks in 5.
Yeah.
I can also simplify this because I think we'll have a lot of time to actually break down the details. Like, don't forget, Donovan Mitchell is from Greenwich, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell wanted to be a Knick. Donovan Mitchell wanted to come back home. Jalen Brunson was the guy that got there first. So there's a lot of this going into the feeling of what the Garden is going to have. Because Donovan Mitchell wants the lights, right? Will that take away from what they do? Will that help what they do? I still think the Knicks are a better team offensively and defensively. And this is a series where I think James Harden can get exposed off the ball.
Talk about the matchups, Monica, a little bit. I'll remind everyone again, as I always do, Monica does the Knick games on the radio, so you know them as well as they can be known. Styles make fights. What are the styles here? How do these teams match up with each other as you see it?
Well, I think Jay nailed it because in this new offense, yes, it's about Karl-Anthony Towns as a centerpiece, but there's also so much off-ball movement, right? And so last night as we're preparing for this one, I'm like, okay, who's going to struggle with that? I think Merrill, Wade, Strus there, guarding their butts off there, doing what they're supposed to do as role players. But to go after and target where you're going to have some soft spots, Donovan Mitchell, while he competes, is not the biggest defender there, right? And then James Harden tends to be a little bit slow-footed. But this is where, to me, the way that the Knicks are playing on both sides of the basketball is important to call out. They've been defending at such a high level. And if OG Anunoby is healthy, which all signs indicate he'll be ready for game 1, they really, I think, to me, can put more pressure on Cleveland defensively than Cleveland can do the other way.
I think it comes down to when you look at a series like this, how many ways can you win a game? How many ways can you shape-shift yourself into being something? We haven't even talked about Jalen Brunson iso ball in the last 5 minutes of a game. We haven't had to see it because the Knicks have blown everybody out by 40-plus points in every game since they have shifted this offense. Karl Towns has unlocked OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, who was on the verge of being benched after Game 3 of that series. Like, this is completely unlocked in a way that Mike Brown, he's coached with Draymond Green and Domantas Sabonis. But Karl Towns is a completely different offensive talent than both of those players. He's able to sort of deploy his entire playbook, and you have nobody that can guard him.
And we'll put the pics up on the screen. And look, at the risk of putting even more pressure on a Knicks team that already obviously has to feel it because their fans have waited 53 years to see this team win a championship, it could not have set up better. They get the Sixers, who are coming off a 7-game war with the Celtics and absolutely no time to rest, and the Knicks had home court advantage. And now spin it again, they get the Cavs, who are coming off a 7-game battle, albeit Game 7 was sort of an easier one, against Detroit here, and they have no time to rest before Game 1, and the Knicks have home court advantage. It sets up so well for the Knicks.
It's also like these narratives that have followed this team, in particular Mikal Bridges, right, in the 4 first-round picks he got traded for. Now look at that matchup opportunity he has against Donovan Mitchell, right, where he's had success before because of his size and his length. It kind of makes you read